What's up everyone, this is Yeeflex and welcome to another behind the scenes video. In this video we're going to be going behind the scenes for my song Seaside, as this is the fourth song in the Diversity EP. So just a disclaimer in the beginning of this video, sorry if the audio fluctuates, my microphone has been having some interesting issues in the past couple days with audio, so just bear with me as the video continues. So in this video today, as you see here, this is the project Seaside. Unfortunately, I didn't have the master file for this song, so I won't be able to show you guys too much of what happened in the making of this song. So this video should be pretty short, but like the last three videos, I'll give a brief rundown of why we made this song and just the history of the song. Then I'll go into a few technical behind the scenes things within the project on my end, and then after that I'll just talk about the Diversity EP overall and some just general fun fact information about the song at this time. So as we say, let's get into this song and let's dive right in. So Seaside is the fourth song that we made for the Diversity EP. Maezong and I had already at this point decided that we were going to make an EP, as I stated in my last video. By the time I was making Traverse, we had already decided to make an EP. So this was the fourth song, and the reason why we made Seaside was basically because we wanted to go back to Maezong and my roots, making Reaching Halo. So I figured it wouldn't be a Maezong Yeeflex EP without a progressive house song. So I mentioned the idea to him and he was all for making Seaside. The song Seaside in itself I think took 2 weeks to complete. Again, it's one of the shorter songs it took to complete, and basically Seaside was named because when you listen to the song, at least for me, it sounds like you'd be sitting on a beach just listening to this song, or in a video like a ocean beach video and this song's playing. So that was the interesting thing with the song. Fun fact just for myself, this song came out after I graduated from college and I was on vacation. And I happened to be by a beach on vacation, and this song came out the exact same day I was on vacation. So I actually got to listen to Seaside while on the seaside looking out on the beach. So the vision I had in my head pretty much came to reality when listening to the song. So with Seaside, that's kind of the fun memory I have of this song, because it's not every day you can go to a seaside and really listen to your song and in the environment I was in. So I mean, it was just a great experience overall to have my music come out kind of as I pictured, and then listening to it in an environment that I pictured the song being played in. So it was definitely a cool experience, and yeah, I can't take that one back. I'd do that one all over again. But anyways, sorry to ramble, but to get into the song now. So basically, this is, I think, maybe half of the project. I think from this point forward, Maezong and I literally just messaged each other via Messenger, and then he sent me different samples and different audio exports, or what I like to call bounces, different audio bounces, and I just kind of critiqued his things from there, and then I think he did most of the work on his end. But this is the project file I have on my end. He sent me the drums, he sent me the bass line, sent me his effects, he sent me his lead chords, the piano, and a synth melody. Now I haven't opened this project in quite a while, so I kind of forgot what I added and what he added, but as we listen to it, it'll start to jog my memory again. So this was the drums. I believe a pretty simple drum pattern. This is the intro drums. And then this was the, yeah, so this was the intro drums, this is the drop drums. And then this bass sound I think he made in Sylenth. Yeah, that sounds like a synth sound he made in Sylenth. And then the effects, and then the lead chords. So this is what you hear in the lead, the da da da. As you could tell, these are kind of saw wave, like a super saw type lead that he most likely made in Sylenth. Very very standard kind of type of sound for a lot of leads in EDM in general, but a lot in progressive house and melodic dubstep. I know uses that for sure. Electro does too on some of the one shots. The piano. I think this is the first song where I did not send him a piano sound. He actually sent me a piano song. So that's actually quite interesting. And the synth melody. So the synth melody just kind of goes with the lead chords and adds like another layer. This is like the saw layer, and this is like the top synth melody. So as you could tell from this master chain, from the previous song, since I didn't do too much on this song and I didn't host the master file, I didn't add too much on the master chain. I literally just put an EQ8, a limiter, and a spectrum on there. As like the previous 3 projects, I had the full kind of master effect chain with the compressor, EQ, multiband dynamics, the reverb, the compressor, and the limiter, and the spectrum analyzer. This time I just scaled it back because I knew I wasn't doing too much. So what I added was this choir in the beginning. And I think this choir plays in the background, but the main part that I added was the guitar part. And this guitar is his MIDI, but this is a guitar synth that I've been using for a while in Massive. It's called a guitar sounding sound. This sound actually came from a producer known as Intermise before. He and I worked on a project a long time ago that never got finished, and long story short, he ended up not being a music producer anymore. He gave that up, but within that project he had this guitar sound that was pretty realistic. I mean, it's the best guitar I think I've heard in a song in a while. And this was the preset, or the KSD in Massive, and I used it because he had a lot of compression on it, but then he had this sound kind of as his kind of main sound. And I asked him before if I could use this KSD in other projects, and he said go ahead, like I'm not using it anymore, so feel free to use it. So when I was looking for guitar sounding-ish sounds, I think I saved his KSD, and then I also made one myself, but I think this is the one that he originally made, and I just kind of ran with it. But I didn't want to copy his guitar sound, one, because I didn't have the same plugins as him, and two, it just didn't feel right. I mean, it feels kind of weird that I'm using his sound, but he said he's not using it anymore, so that I had full range to use it, which I do really appreciate. I do appreciate him for saying that. And I normally don't try and use other people's sounds. I try and make my own, but this is one of the exceptions because this guitar sound sounds really good with the compression I have on it in Guitar Rig. And when I throw the Guitar Rig sound, this 1993 Hot Solo rig, you can tell the difference. So I will have this channel like that. So this is what it sounds like without it. So it's similar, you know, to like a very basic kind of massive sound, but has a hint of like a distortion in it. And then you turn on the guitar rig. And it sounds like an actual guitar. So the distortion really does play a lot into it. And for anyone that has guitar rig, I use the 1993 Hot Solo rig. I've used many different of the presets for the guitar rig itself, but the 1993 Hot Solo rig just seems to work with the guitar sounding sound KSD that I called it for all my guitar sounds, or for most of them in at least this EP, because in this song, and you'll see in the next video for Midnight Cruise, well actually you might not see it, but I actually use this same kind of setup and sound to play the guitar in Midnight Cruise. I'll go over that. I don't think the guitar sound actually is in that file, but I'll still go over that anyways. But for this song, this is the guitar that plays in the lead, either in the first or the second drop. This is kind of the... So this is the guitar lead. This is the melody that Maezong wrote out, and I just put it into the sound and then just kind of plugged and played. And then there's another one I think he made, and this is for the kind of break guitar, as you guys will probably hear now. So it's kind of like a arpeggio. So the way the notes are staggered is like an arpeggio or an arpeggiator. Like it goes up and down, kind of in the scale. So it kind of creates like an arpeggiating lead. And that's the guitar sound in the break. And then in this part, I added the strings just to give some extra texture. Now, to be honest, I don't really remember if I made it into the final cut of the song, but overall, that's pretty much it for Seaside on my end. Maezong has the master file, but I just want to show kind of on my end what the project file looked like, and then just to give more of a backstory on the song. So overall, the song was really fun to make. Out of the whole EP though, I'm really surprised that this was the song that so far on ArgoFox has the least views. I thought the song with the least views would be either Sunrise or Traverse, because I knew Elevate was going to do good. I thought this song was going to do good because Reaching Halo did well when we made Progressive House, and I figured Midnight Cruise would do well because Synthwave now is pretty much a big thing and pretty popular, so I knew those three would do pretty well, but I wasn't sure about the other two. But it seems like Traverse is like at the top of the view chart on ArgoFox in terms of all 5 videos. Traverse right now I think is sitting at 50k, and this song's sitting at maybe like 27k. I mean, there's nothing I can complain about. This thing has 27,000 views. I mean, most of my songs I'm happy if like 10 to 100 people listen to the song. So I mean, when it's more than like 10 or 100, then I'm just like, okay, my song's made it. But usually with these bigger songs, I put a higher expectation. That's usually like the 10 to 100 I try and do for my own songs. The bigger songs, if it hits at least like 1,000 views, like more realistically like 10,000 views, then it's like the song's pretty much made it. Because I mean, I don't know, 10,000 people, that seems like a pretty decent number. If your song can even hit 10,000 views, that it's pretty big. But even over the 1,000 mark is really big too. So I was just really surprised that this is the lowest viewed song via ArgoFox, not including other channels. I'm surprised Traverse was the highest song viewed. So that was just a random fun fact for the Diversity EP. But overall, this song also got its name from actually a place when I was going to school down in Southern California. There was this place I went to visit before I came back up and moved back home, and the place was called Seaside Cafe, and that's why the name Seaside kind of was in my head. Also, with the song being what I envisioned, like you're sitting on the seaside, but also like coinciding at that time. I remember going to that cafe and remembering, Seaside Cafe. That's pretty interesting, because the cafe was right next to a beach, so just kind of all played together pretty well. So overall, that is the behind the scenes video of Seaside. Sorry there isn't too much of this project. I thought I had more in this project, but I guess Meizong and I just did most of the project while we were messaging via chat. So I never downloaded any of the files, and I forgot to download a lot of the progress files. So this is kind of what the project kind of came to be. So hopefully you guys learned something. There wasn't too much in this video to really show, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Alright, have a good one, everyone. Peace.